Okay. Oh.
What a lad, what a lad, what a lad, what an absolute lad. What a lad, what a lad, what a lad, what an absolute lad.
What a lad and what a guest I have to start. What a Lad Season 4. He's a man I've been hoping to get on this podcast from pretty much the very start, as he is one of the most incredible stories in sport. He was an absolute beast on the field during his time playing for Southland, Auckland, the Hurricanes where he won the title, and of course Worcester Warriors. But on the 4th of January 2020, his life drastically changed as he suffered a neck injury where he was told he may never walk again. But they obviously didn't know what kind of warrior they were talking to, as they proved the medics wrong very, very quick. And on top of all that, he is one of the most genuine, down-to-earth lads you will ever meet. He is literally one of the greats. It is Michael Fatialofa. Welcome, mate.
Thanks for having me, Jimmy. Sorry for leaving you on scene for about a year. Got around to it. Happy to be here. Thanks, bro.
Mate, you were saving up for that mic, obviously, because that is the best quality sound I've ever heard on the other end of a podcast.
I see. I got you, bro. What a Lad fan from way back. Day one.
But, mate, can't wait to talk to you and sort of catch up about how the last couple of years have been from you and hear it all from your side of the fence.
Nah, let's get into it, eh?
But how you been, bro? Like, you're looking good, looking strong.
Yeah, no, not too bad. Been living here in the Cook Islands for a year and a half now. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Nice and slow lifestyle. Been, learning the island ways, husking coconuts and all that. Yeah, when I first moved over, I was getting exposed. Just growing up in Auckland City, I didn't know anything. So,
yeah.
I don't know, my neighbours watching me trying to husk coconuts, laughing. Just like, I couldn't do anything, eh?
Yeah.
Because they all burn fires and stuff, so you got to burn everything over here. It's taken a while to learn all these island ways, but bit of a local now, so got it on lock.
And where are you living? Is that your house you're in at the moment?
Yeah, so my wife she's Cook Island, so her family's got a family house over here, and we're living in it and kind of looking after the land, so worked out pretty well.
Mate, how good. And what's sort of like what's everyday life look like for you at the moment over there?
Just up with the roosters. There's no, that's what it is over here. Eh?
I can hear it, yeah.
Yeah. But they just go all day, eh? But yeah, up with the roosters, coffee and brekkie. Then I usually go do some rehab at the gym, the local gym. Just get the body moving because every morning just feel terrible, eh? So I just have to get my body moving and then, jump in the ocean. That's all good. So, that helps a lot, just swimming every day. And then, I'm just a man of leisure after that, just whatever, wherever it takes me, I'll do it.
Nice. And then finish the night with some kava.
Yeah, that's a Friday night thing. So just me and got invited to a few of the local kava sessions, and it was good to get to know some of the boys on the island.
Yeah, how good. So where are you at physically? You mentioned how hard it is for you to sort of wake up and get the body moving, but you're obviously walking around now. I've seen you deadlifting more than I can, so you're pretty, you're getting there, eh?
Yeah, it's a spinal cord injury, so I'm still considered what they call an incomplete quadriplegic. So
okay.
I still have impairment of all four limbs. But I don't know. They thought I was going to be in a wheelchair and all that, but somehow I managed to walk. And today it's almost like I've had a stroke. So one side of my body is quite strong and that kind of carries me, and the left side of my body is kind of drags a bit. It takes a bit more thought to move, and so that's kind of where I'm at now. But walking every day is it's not too bad. Sometimes it's quite hard, but I get around all right. And just the pain. So I have a lot of neuropathic pain because obviously the nerves are all confused. So that's an ongoing thing that just kind of have to manage.
What is that pain like? Is it pretty painful? Like out of 10?
Yeah.
Because you're
So
tough,
it's like-
I know. Like a
Yeah.
5 out of 10 is 10 out of 10 for most people.
Nah, it's like it sits around 8 24/7, and then
Oh, true.
yeah. So, but that's what, because it's kind of a hidden disability. You know, if you saw me on the street, you'll think might have a tight hammy or something
Yeah.
from my limp. But yeah, dealing with all those kind of unseen things, the pain, so every step, pretty much, I have to consciously think about every movement.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's mentally draining, and even just the pain is just because it's neuropathic pain is like something that's hard to explain, something that I hadn't experienced until I broke my neck. It's like fire and ice, and it's just shooting to your toes, shooting to your hands. So yeah, it kind of just feels like electric pulses. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but yeah, fuck, it's sore, bro. Yeah.
Are you finding it gradually getting better, or because it's been 2 years since or coming up 3 years?
Just 3 years.
Yeah.
Is it getting better? I don't know if it's getting better, but I've been talking to Seti at the Canes, because he had he had
lad.
like very similar injury to me, and he said the pain never really goes, but you kind of just learn to live, and you get used to it. You build more resilience. So yeah, just basically just got to hack it.
True, and the best thing for you to do is keep walking on it, keep trying to push it, and
Yeah. So the worst thing that for pain is the cold for me.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get a chill in my body, I'm gone.
Oh, true.
So that's why that was a big factor in moving to Raro, was the warm climate. So when I was back for summer, if you want to call it that, in New Zealand, as soon as I got off the plane, I could hardly walk. Just that cold snap hit me.
Oh, true.
And yeah, just a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, it's good to just confirm that this was the right decision for me, and the priority is quality of life, and minimizing pain for me, and just making life more enjoyable, and being able to do more, which I can do over here because it's nice and slow.
And so Raro's a long-term place for you to live. You obviously wouldn't want to come back, live in New Zealand with the cold summers.
Nah, yeah, I reckon in the future I'd like to spend a bit of time between the two, but base myself here and kind of pop into New Zealand, pop out. So yeah, maybe 50-50 split, maybe 6 months in New Zealand or something like that. But yeah, not really sure yet. Just
see how it goes.
Just kind of that's in the ideal world here.
Mate, how good, mate. Good to hear. Good to get an insight onto all that. But like always, I do like to start these episodes from the start, so we do get the full picture of life as the legend that you are. So take us back to your sort of childhood. I knew you grew up in Auckland, born and raised there.
Yeah.
What was your childhood like, mate?
I grew up in Onehunga.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like central, and then when I was about 10, parents split up, so me and my mum moved out west, and then we've been out west ever since. So just me, my mum and my brothers, I was the youngest, so.
Oh, true. How many brothers did you have?
So I got 2 older brothers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I used to get bullied, and then they didn't know what they were doing. They were creating a monster. Yeah, so I used to get bullied so badly from them, eh? Yeah. So, and even like growing up, because my dad was quite hard on me, eh? Like he was a bit of a old school. So I remember when I used to miss a tackle in the game, in a rugby game.
Yeah.
fuck, this is like, I'm talking like under 8s or something, like I'm about 7 years old.
Yeah.
We'll detour on the way home to the park with my brothers, and fuck, like my dad used to, like, because my dad was huge, he was like 6'3", 130.
Yeah.
And we just used to go to the park, and then like he'll make my brothers run it straight to me, and they're like way older than me. And then we'll stay there until like I tackle them, like so they all take turns, the middle brother, my older brother, and then my dad will run at me. That's why I hated rugby, until. But yeah, that was traumatic, But yeah, so that's why, and he taught me how to tackle and all that.
Yeah.
So obviously, his technique is a bit old school. And, I blame him for all the yellow cards I've received over the years, So yeah, we'll just stay at the park until I'll somehow, like, one of my brothers will like fake that I tackled them to feel sorry for me. we'll be like, yeah, that's enough. Go home now. So yeah, bro, toxic, but nah, I probably wouldn't be the rugby player I was if I didn't have to. Yeah, I think he was just trying to harden me up.
Yeah, well, mate, he definitely did that.
Yeah.
Jeez, that makes a lot of sense with the way you played throughout your career. But so you obviously didn't really enjoy playing rugby. If you had the option, you would have not played. Yeah.
I didn't really like it just because, I was a gentle big kid, But, I just kind of got thrown into rugby, and I learned to love it probably at high school when I, started to realize shit, like a 6'6" and 120 can do some damage. Yeah. So, I just started, enjoying the contact, and I got pretty good, which was, makes you enjoy it more, and just started making all the teams, so I just stuck with it. Yeah,
mate, pretty good, pretty humble. You were a gun coming through the grades. I know you did 3 years at First 15, won the school title with Mount Grammar. So, mate, you had huge reps on you. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the First 15 was, that was enjoyable at Mount Albert Grammar. We had all the boys in that team, like, Willis was there. Oh, lad.
Yopu.
Oh, all the lads.
Yeah. Yeah, so Willis and Yopu were playing there. And, we had a decent team. We had, like, Stephen Luatua was in there.
Oh, yeah.
Matt McGann was our 10.
Yeah.
So, a lot of us went on to play professionally. And, so... Yeah, Willis kind of was the guy. He took me under his wing when he was my senior. So he just, came in as a 15-year-old, and Willis showed me the ropes. Gave me my, that guy was, Willis gave me my first Woodstock, We always talk about it. My first 15 party, Willis big broed me, come to the room. I didn't even want to drink, He was like, here, drink this. Horsed. I love Willis, He's been like a big brother to me, like, since then. We played, we always ended up in the same team. Yeah. Played, all our schoolboy. He was always a few years ahead of me, but then ended up playing in Southland, and he came down at the Canes together, so... Yeah, pretty close with Willis. He's a lad. Yeah. Did you stay out of trouble? Obviously, he's been on the podcast and spoke about sort of all the stuff he was getting into during his time at school. Did you manage to stay out of all that, or did he sort of drag you in there when he got you drinking? Yeah, Willis was. He was next level, Just he was kind of not. I don't know. I've seen some things, I'll let it be until he retires. But Willis was. Yeah, he was a tough guy. He had a tough upbringing. Yeah. And but he had this real, like, he has a soft side where he's a real protector. So he'll look after. If you're his boy, he'll look after you, and he's kind of got you for life. So yeah. But nah, I was me personally. Nah, I was just kind of just struggled with a bit of drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, drinking was always the poison for me. And yeah, once Willis gave me that Woodstock, it was I loved it. Yeah.
And then you did make like New Zealand schools. Is that sort of when you realised that this is probably potentially going to be a gig for you? This is going to be your job?
Yeah, so it was that they used to have the New Zealand under 17s, and that's kind of when I kind of considered, oh yeah, this might be a pathway. And then I made schools, and yeah, that was most of the boys from our schools team ended up playing professional in some way. But yeah, that was when I started taking it seriously and really wanted to make it a career. But yeah. Then from there I signed down in Southland.
Yeah. Why'd you go Southland? Yeah, because obviously Auckland would have been wanting you.
Yeah.
Probably a few other provinces as well. Why'd you choose Southland?
So, growing up out West Auckland, a lot of the boys, like a couple years older than me, gun players, but same as me, they made New Zealand schools or something, and then they went into the Auckland Academy, and then just fizzled out, or just didn't kick on, and it's so easy to fall through the cracks in Auckland.
Yeah.
Because there's always that next New Zealand schools or New Zealand 20s player coming, and yeah, a lot of my friends older than me had done that, fallen through the cracks, and I just knew like I would, because I was I was still a kid, and I don't know if I had the discipline to crack it in Auckland at that age, when there's so many distractions in Auckland. So I thought, me and my mum actually, we thought it would be better to move somewhere else, and yeah, so I moved as far away from Auckland. I've never been to Invercargill in my life, and just that was a culture shock, eh? Yeah.
Right, as far away from all the distractions as possible. Yeah. What was it like when you got there?
Just a straight culture shock.
Yeah.
Because I was down there with remember Cardiff Vying?
Yeah.
So it was me and him. We went down together, and we were just literally the only brown people in Invercargill. That's what it felt like. So it was just we could feel people staring at us when we were walking around, like, well, these guys aren't from here. But yeah, it was just I enjoyed Southland because it taught me. It kind of filled the holes in my game, because I was like just a big bopper. I could run the ball and make hits. But down in Southland is where I learnt how to grind out at 80 and just had to add a bit of grit to my game, because you have to work for everything down south. They don't have the talent pool like Auckland, so they're hard work beats talent kind of place, and they're the ones that I think that's where I learned a lot and realized rugby's not about that highlight hit or bumping off someone, which is what we used to think was everything in Auckland. Just kind of respect the game more, and playing next to guys like John Hardy and Tim Boys, just the battlers of battlers, and Jason Rutledge.
Oh, the workhorses.
He's just inspirational, just on the field of them, just they're out of breath, just grunting, just carry on, and they're just I don't know, they don't stop, those boys, and I think I did take a bit away from just being around guys like that.
Mate, that's so cool, and you probably fit in off the field too. Down there, they obviously all love their piss, so you would have had a few good.
Bro, that was the thing, eh? Because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna make all these dramatic changes in my life. I want to pursue it, but I went sober, eh?
Oh, did you?
My first year out of school, I did a season sober.
Oh, good on you.
Bro, I didn't like. It didn't work for me, eh? I'm not like a drunk, but bro, it took me a few years to kind of get the balance right, because I realized when I was too like diligent, if I just focused too much on the footy and dedicated the life to it, I was terrible, eh? Or and then when I used to have a bit of a balance, like Toxic Tuesday night, and just let my hair down now and again, eh?
Yeah.
That's what worked for me personally. So I just getting that balance took me a while. So but it did take a while, because we were sober, and then
on it all the time.
Then bend the season, and then
found your balance.
Found the balance. Oh yeah, this is what works for me.
And when you found that balance, that's when you got your super contract, right? Or it was sort of like 4 years later, and the Canes came calling. What was that like?
Nah, it was exciting, because I was turning into a bit of a Highlanders development veteran, eh? Just I hated that, eh? Just having to drive from Invercargill to Dunners.
True.
And just, you're like, have a little game in fucking Ashburton or something, like random town, and you're on your way back to Invercargill. So, I was kind of on the fringes for the Landers for years, and I never really eventuated to anything, and so I moved home to Auckland, and then I made the Canes straight away. So. But I didn't really change much in my playing. I don't know what it was. It's just kind of the right timing, I guess. But I reckon, I don't know. It's a bit out the gate, but I reckon I made Super Rugby when I grew my hair. Eh?
Really? True.
Because I don't know, because I kind of had the short back and sides for years. Just looked like every other dude on the field, and I started to stand out a bit when I grew my hair out, and
more noticeable.
Yeah, my first year with long hair, I made Super Rugby. So
far out.
Bro, there's like, if you think of guys like Dan Pryor, do you remember him?
Yeah.
Like when he had the short back and sides, he was just battling out Northland and all that, Auckland, and then dreads, started killing it. I reckon
long
it is
hair.
a thing, eh? Yeah, long hair.
Like, look at Mata and Tana.
Nah, those guys are
all the legends. Actually.
Those guys they could be bald and still make it. I'm talking we're the fringe guys on the fringes. Grow your hair. Yeah,
right. That's good advice. Anyone who's feeling like they're not getting noticed, just grow your hair. Or
grow
do
it out.
something
Just
different.
do something drastic. Change your look drastically, and you'll get a look.
So you move home, put on the blue and white hoops, grow your hair out, get a Hurricanes contract, move down to Wellington, and then what was that like for you, going down there and being a part of that side?
Yeah, so I went down on a Hurricanes wider squad contract.
Oh, were you wider?
Yeah, I was a wider squad.
Oh, true.
Yeah, me, all of us ended up playing though, but we'll get to that. But preseason I always struggled with fitness, like during my career.
Yeah.
Not so much on the field, like all that stuff, but more just testing yo-yos. I was a bit of a 15, 16 kind of guy, and I always struggled with that aspect. And it's hard to show you can play when your numbers aren't looking good at that level. So I remember after a few weeks, me and Tong and Bear were like we were caking it during fitness, and we were just honestly it was a joke. I don't know, I was just getting left behind at fitness, but I came second to last on the surf to peak. But I would have been last if it wasn't. Do you remember how we had that young academy lock? His name was Louis Lomanu,
Oh, yeah.
and he like did like way worse than me. So no one remembers that. I was the last contracted. I came last out of all the contracted players, and But so shout out to Louis for keeping me out of the history books. But yeah, back to me and Tong and Bear. So Boydie called us to his office, and it was Boydie and Plums and Waddy, and they just sat us down and just said, we brought you guys over here to, because we thought you guys were ready for Super Rugby, and just the past few weeks you haven't been showing your worth, and you don't look like you belong here. Yeah, me and Tonga Bear were just we were pissed off, because we knew that we could cut it at Super Rugby, but our numbers might not have looked like it, but we knew our on-field ability was at their level. So, but yeah, this session, this meeting that we had was it was just before a contact session. So, me and Bear walked out of their office and we were like pissed off. Like, he was like, Doko, that's us, Doko, we'll show them. I was like, yeah, that's us. And bro, we went into that field session, and it was contact.
Yeah.
And we just looked at each other before the session, like gave each other the nod. And bro, we just started ending like people just taking names of all the vets at the Canes, and anyone that ran to us, we were just folding them, And after that, Waddy came up to me and he was like, see, because he was the one that actually like wanted to sign me at the Canes, and he put his name on the line.
Sure, yeah.
And he came up to me, he's like, yeah, that's why I fucking signed you, boy. He's like, yeah, we need that every training. And then Boydie and Plums ended up liking me after that. And
right, that's crazy.
Ended up getting a proper crack from just folding a few guys at training at a contact session. So it was good because because I was good in the contact area, they were able to ignore the 16 yo-yo and just give me a crack, because I just needed an 80 and like 180 blowout, and then I'm usually sweet. Like I can do all the MAS running and just have no effect on me, but so that's why I was happy when conditioning games started becoming a thing, because they were good for me. But and then what was it? Hurricanes 2016. I only got caught in because it was Brody, because he had that concussion.
Oh, true.
So I was there as kind of injury cover, and bro, he was unreal, So once he decided to hang up the boots, that I kind of moved to the 5th string lock, and was getting a few reps now. So, and then Christian Lloyd, the lock, he did his knee wasn't recovering, so he hung up the boots. So then I moved up to fourth
Climbing
string.
the ranks.
So I was like, wow, I'm like, might have a shot to play here. And then so the starters were Mark Abbott, Abbo, the lad.
That's right.
Blade was playing lock, and Via was the third. So first few games, Abbo was starting and killing it. And Blade, he's gonna be Blade. He was killing it too. So we had that. We got pumped from the Brumbies and that year. Remember that?
Yeah, first round.
Yeah. So we were pretty. First few rounds we were struggling, but Abbo was playing 80s just a few weeks in a row, and then they did the old give him a rest week ones, and yeah, so me and Via got the start.
True.
And
that
then
was it.
yeah, it was the old, have a rest week, and then no, these guys are starting now. So yeah, that was pretty cool because me and Via were both rookies, and then yeah, we ended up starting every game. I remember I just wanted to play 10 games because that's what you needed as a wider squad to get that bonus. Yeah. I remember I was like playing injured, just hacking it.
Yeah.
Because I needed that 10 just for times were hard, eh? But yeah, all of us wider squad, eh, were always checking.
Yeah.
Like, bro, how many games are you on? Yeah. It was me, Jamison, Willis.
Mate, you would have all got there, eh? Because you guys all played a massive part.
Yeah, we did. We all ended up getting the bonus, and we were so happy. And then, yeah, so yeah, that was a special year, 2016. I don't know what it was. It was just kind of, I feel like everyone had a bit of a chip on their shoulder. Everyone, as individuals, had different things they were playing for. And I don't know, just collectively it clicked, and yeah, we just went on that run and ended up winning. So yeah, that was a special year, and yeah, special for myself just because I felt like I got that validation that I'd been seeking as a rugby player, just that knowing for myself that yes, I can play at this level and I can play well. So yeah, that was a special year for me.
Was your old man? What was he like watching your games and stuff? Was he always, how you said he was like rough as a young fella? Was he the same all the way through your professional career as well?
Nah, so yeah, that was kind of more when I was young. It was when that's when he was used to do the old run it straight challenge with me. But yeah, as we kind of grew apart as I got a bit older, so I didn't really see much of him from maybe high school.
Oh, true.
And yeah, we just kind of fell out of contact. So, but yeah, I know that he used to watch my games, and yeah, that was part of my. Yeah, I had those father issues, so I was always trying to become what I know he was trying to create, and that was my sort of mindset was I'm just gonna go out here and be a grub because I hope my dad's watching. Yeah, he'll see this. So yeah, I know that I got told that he did watch all my games because he passed away last year.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and that was tough to deal with because we never really got to chop it up and piece it out. But yeah, just talking with his new missus and that, I found out that he had all my games recorded on my Sky, and so he was proud of me, which was it's not the same as making peace, and because everyone just wants a relationship with their father, but yeah, that was quite a tough thing, and yeah, that's why I think I always struggled with older men having authority over me and telling me what to do. So I was always it took a lot for me to trust coaches like older men, and that's why I was so close with Richard Watty, because he took the time to understand me as a person, and just showed a bit of empathy and just gave me time and built my trust. So yeah, that's why I would have done anything for Watty.
Mate, that's cool. It is so powerful ways for coaches to connect on that deeper level. And is that sort of where your lack of conditioning, like you spoke about before, hated being told by trainers what to do, or that you had to get to this line at that certain point, or was that all part of it as well?
But I don't think it was that side effect of the training. It was more the rugby side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fitness was just I don't know. I managed to, after years, to just start hitting a 17-1, 17-2. So that was, that was just good enough. So
Yeah, pass.
but yeah, it was just I don't know. It's just like a lot of people that are more bigger boys or power athletes
Mm,
struggle with yo-yos
yeah,
or Broncos. So but
yeah,
yeah, I ended up having to like shred down to like I don't know. I was playing real light just to get that 17 yo-yo. So
yeah.
fucking yo-yo, eh? Bro.
Right, that's sort of one thing I always remember about you is like you were so chilled, so cruisy off the field, but I don't think I ever met a player who had the biggest like flick of the switch when they crossed that line and played. Like you, like in the gym and stuff, you were just chilled. You could tell you didn't really care about lifting weights, but once you got onto that field, man, like you said, you just transformed into some like mad warrior who could just kill people and fold people.
I think, yeah, that was, yeah. As soon as I like got into game situations, I don't know. I just used to flick the switch and just take out, all the trauma from my life out on the opposition. It was, I don't know, pretty toxic, but I just used to enjoy just being, a grub, like just, smashing people, and so yeah, I enjoyed that. I could, just be chilled off the field, and then once I got on there, I knew there was a job to do.
So you did 2 more years at the Canes, and then you decided to head over to Worcester.
Yeah.
What was that? What was the reason behind that move?
Money.
Mm.
Yeah. Just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Super Rugby was, it was good. I loved it. I wanted to stay at the Canes, but when you're getting offers that double or triple what you're on,
Yeah.
it's hard to say no. Especially, I wanted to get some financial backing and set myself up. So I was at a good age, still quite young, so I could demand a decent contract because of that.
Mm.
And yeah, Worcester came to the table. I remember it was ended up being Worcester or the Scarlets, or the two that, yeah. But then, yeah, I just ended up wanting to play in the English Premiership because I had just gone on that Barbarians tour, and we stayed in England and in London,
right.
and yeah, I loved it over in England, and just wanted to be around that sort of. So yeah, moved to Worcester, and yeah, we struggled there. We were kind of like similar to like when you were at Irish.
Yeah.
We're a kind of fringe Prem team.
Yeah.
Like at the start of the season, it's we'll make a statement, and then this is going to be the year that we show that Worcester is here to stay, and then halfway through the season we're fucking calculating how to stay up in the Prem, how many bonus points we need. So yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was tough because we weren't one of those big traditional English clubs, but yeah, well, we had some good players and good young players, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing with some of the people I played with there, but yeah, we couldn't get it together on field, and yeah, I remember we were like those random teams that we'll randomly beat Saracens and then get pumped by Newcastle at home the next week. So it's like you never really knew how what Worcester was going to show up. So yeah, we were just so inconsistent. But there was a lot of guns in that team, and a lot of the young boys, they were just freaks. Like some of the 18, 19-year-olds coming through. So yeah, it was nice to like mentor some of them and play, experience English rugby.
How was your footy over there? Did you find the style of rugby suited your game?
Yeah, because I didn't have to be as fit over there,
Yeah.
so I kind of could revert back to my natural body size and still get around fine. So yeah, I think it did suit me a bit more. But it's a hard competition, eh? Just it's not as expansive, but the tight play and defending long phases it's hard. Every week is a hard game in the Prem.
Mate, tough to be a forward, I reckon. Like, what was
Yeah,
your, like,
yeah.
were you guys heaps of mauling and heaps of set piece during the
Yeah.
week? You would have been loving it.
Just the AstroTurf was the issue.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, so then the knees were and hips go when you're doing 100 lineouts a week and fucking props are just dropping you.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone like had knee, ankle, hip problems. And yeah, I don't know, just hey, dude, you don't like AstroTurf, say it's like it must
Nah.
not be good for your hips too.
Nah, they were no good
Oh.
for my hip.
Yeah, because all of Matt Brick's work was done for nothing, eh? After playing on that, what a surgeon, eh? What a surgeon.
Shout out to Matt Brick for fixing
Yeah.
your hips. And then obviously the big incident, 4th of January.
Yeah,
Man, talk me through this, like life-changing neck injury, but
yeah.
what do you remember about the whole incident?
So we were playing Sarries away in London. So yeah, it was just I was on the bench and we were tanking that game, to be honest. Like, I wasn't meant to play that game, and they just brought me down, sit on the bench, and they said, we're not really going to put you on. So then we were getting pumped, and they decided to chuck me on to, try and restore some pride. And my first carry, I just, I got it, and because we were playing the old set up the box kick from everywhere ones, and we were on like halfway, but we were setting up a box kick, so I took the carry, and just as soon as I made contact, I think I got a hip to my head, hip to the top of the head, and just whiplash back. And yeah, as soon as it connected, my whole body just shut down. So, but it was scary, eh? Yeah. So it was kind of, and I was laying on my front, so, and the ball was underneath me, so, but I was just limp, and they stopped the game, and I was like kind of trying to stay calm, but I just knew that it was what City had. I don't know what it was, but I was like, oh shit, this must be, what happened to City has just happened to me.
Far out.
Yeah. So, yeah, just it took like an hour. They had to turn me over, obviously, without damaging my neck further, get me on the stretcher. And I was starting to be calm. And then I didn't realize when you injure your spinal cord, everything below is affected, even internally. So yeah, I started panicking when I stopped breathing, eh? So
Oh really?
because my lung wasn't functioning, so I stopped breathing and I started panicking. They had to get me on the oxygen, and I was like kind of in and out of consciousness just because I couldn't really breathe.
Alright.
So that was scary. It's just kind of gasping for breath and that. And then I just knew it was tough times ahead because I could just tell. And then they got me in the hospital. It was lucky it was in London because I went to one of the best hospitals, that St Mary's Hospital in London, and then had to do all the tests and all that. And they saw all the damage I had done to my neck, but I had to go on those MRI machines. I was in there for 3 hours for a scan. Yeah,
What's the pain like at this time? Is this like excruciating pain?
Nah, the pain kind of kicked in when I got to the hospital.
Oh yeah,
So just like when it first happened, I think
just numb.
yeah, and then once I got to the hospital a few hours later, that's when I started getting the neuropathic, like it was kind of like electricity through my body,
Oh yeah.
fire and ice, and it was just unbearable. So yeah, just from there, they were, but I was in what's it called, ICU for a couple of weeks, and then they decided to go in and do my surgery on my neck and try and stabilize it. And yeah, I think it was like 10 hours or something they spent in there. And then yeah, I woke up just in so much pain, and I panicked when I woke up from surgery because what they do is they cut through your neck from the front,
Oh.
and they kind of move your vocal cords and then operate on your vertebrae through there. So it was gnarly, eh?
Nasty.
So after that surgery, I couldn't eat or drink, and I couldn't talk for like a month because they damaged my vocal cords when they were doing surgery.
Man.
So so that was tough because I was like lying there on my back, paralyzed.
Yeah.
Can't eat, can't drink, can't talk. So can't signal out to the nurse.
Fully helpless. How did you communicate? You just couldn't.
Yeah, just kind of like I had a bit of a like a Darren Lockyer voice, so
Oh yeah.
I could kind of give them a couple of words here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took a while to get my voice back, and yeah, I remember just losing it at this doctor, because they put me on a morphine pump. You like press it every time that you need it, and he just got me all set up, like this cocky ass doctor. He's like got me set up, and he was like, "Yeah, mate, whenever you're in pain, discomfort, you just squeeze this here." And he showed me, and the pain relief will come. And then I just looked at him. I was like, "Bro, I'm fucking paralyzed, bro. I can't fucking push anything." And he was just like, bro, heaps of that sort of stuff. They'll just forget that I can't move anything. Yeah. So, but that was so traumatic being in hospital that first month and a half, because they had to turn me every 2 hours, because otherwise you'll get pressure sores and all that. So just no real sleep or anything, just lying there counting the dots and the lines on the roof. And yeah, it was tough. And then they were trying me on all these different medications for my pain, because nothing was doing anything. And yeah, they ended up getting me on like all the hard stuff, like morphine, fentanyl. And then, bro, I was on ketamine for a couple of weeks.
What's that? That horse tranquilizer stuff.
Yeah, so I was like, bro, just laxing in the K-hole. But yeah, even though I was like, it was just kind of buzzing me out when I was in hospital, but pain-wise, still had no effect. Yeah.
Man, so crazy.
So that was a struggle, yeah. But the thing that helped, and why the nurses because they ended up bending the rules for me and allowing me to have like 20 plus visitors, because the nurses and the doctors noticed that when the boys will come through to the hospital and they were chatting and like making me laugh and just fucking like playing around with my arms and that I wouldn't be like requesting pain meds, and like it would almost distract me.
Yeah, that's so cool. Laughter truly is the best medicine, like they say, eh?
Yeah.
Mate, that's cool. And did you often think about, before you were talking about, like, you weren't supposed to even get on the field, you weren't supposed to go to that game, you weren't supposed to play. Were you thinking about that as you lay there? Do you still think about it
Yeah.
now? Like, what if? Like, why'd they put me on?
I try not to, because I don't want to. Those kind of thoughts will eat you up forever, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. It happened, so no one's got a time machine, so I can't dwell on thoughts like that. Those what ifs. I just early on I just made the decision. Yep, it happened. Now I need. These are the cards I've been dealt, and how I respond is what matters now.
And when they told you, obviously they told you for the first time that you're potentially wheelchair bound for life.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What are you feeling at those times?
But I just ignored it, because we had this big meeting with the doctors and all the surgeons, and they sat. Oh, I was already lying down, but they sat them down, and they said, Michael's going to be, in a wheelchair, like electric wheelchair, and will need, 24-hour assistance for the rest of his life. And they're obviously upset and all that. But I know a bit of it was like I was in denial, but my wife always laughs about it, because when they said, serious as conversation, and they're like, Michael, you're going to be in a wheelchair for life, and so prepare to need care for the rest of your life. And bro, I just looked at the doctor, and I go, nah, G. And he kept like, he goes, no, your spinal cord is damaged. You're a quadriplegic. And I go, nah, G, not me, because I was on the morphine, and I was like, nah, G. Everything they said, I was going, nah, G, that's not me. Well, you don't know me. And that was kind of my mindset, like throughout the whole thing. It's like, nah, G, not me, eh?
Yeah.
So I was just, I just knew, like, I don't know, there was something I just refused to believe it. And I was like, nah, that's not me. I'm like, fuck, I don't want that. And then, I remember I was just kind of, I used to like try and meditate, and when I was lying there paralyzed, and I'll just try and focus and like visualize like the brain signals that I need to move my fingers or toes. And I'll just sit there for hours, just like visualizing, my spinal cord, and like the messages getting sent all the way to my hands. And it was powerful stuff, eh? And then one day I was with my wife, and I just asked her to hold my hand up so I could see it. So she was holding my hand, and I was just kind of did the whole focus and visualize myself moving. And then like my finger started to flicker a little bit. And bro, that's all I needed today, was that little bit of hope. And I was like, yeah.
Wow.
I was like, fuck these doctors, I'm going to walk. Yeah.
As soon as you felt your finger flick, you knew.
Yeah. I was like, bro, fuck, that's all the hope I need. Like, it was a tiny bit of hope, but I just clung on to that hope for dear life, and I just ran off. I was like, yeah, gee, that's why I was like, I was cocky after that. I was like, see, I told these doctors, not me, G. Yeah.
See my finger flickering, I'm
Yeah.
on.
I was like, bro, see, quadriplegic, not even. G.
Yeah.
And bro, yeah, so it was, and that's kind of when I started. I just blocked everything out, and like just focused on rehab, and then the finger moved. That kind of progressed into, being able to move my arm, move my toe. That kind of just kept progressing, and I'll just consciously try and move everything. And I remember, bro, the thing is, when I first got that hand moving, bro, I made my nurse like stand there like the whole night, no sleep. Every 5 minutes, I'll show me my hand, and I'll just like make sure that I could still move it. I was scared if I went to sleep that I'd wake up and I couldn't move that finger. So just sleepless nights. And so I just focused on trying to move, and but it was like, bro, you wouldn't wish it upon your worst enemy. What I went through is just the pain and like how tough mentally it was. But I just dedicated my whole life, my whole being to just rehabbing, and because I'm fighting for quality of life. I'm not, it's different now. I'm not rehabbing to get back on the field. It's rehab for, what life's going to look like. And that's a, it's a strong motivating factor. And it just kind of drove me every day. I was just grinding, because I think after a month and a half at that hospital, I went to the rehabilitation unit. It was just outside of London. And from there I was just, 6 hours a day I'll put in work, just all different types of things, occupational therapy, physio, hydrotherapy, just 6 hours every day. And like, I was just so determined. I'm proud of myself for how I just, blocked everything out and just fucking, I just sensed it. And like, my rehab was crazy. The physios and occupational therapists and doctors, they just said they've never seen anything like it. Like, just the way how driven I was to walk and be independent. So I still keep in contact with all my physios and that to this day, and they always tell me, like, you're the type of patient, I'm the type of patient is why they got into their line of work, and seeing stories like mine. Because, bro, there was like a 7% chance that I would, move again. So it was against all odds, and a bit of it was luck. The spinal cord might have been able to get some signals down, but I put a lot of it down to just grit and just being tough. Like, but I reckon I'm the toughest person I know. After going through that.
Right.
And it was just 6 hours so I was in hospital all up six months, and that was during COVID too. So a lot of the time I was just in there by myself, no visitors, and just every day, like clockwork, and 6 hours a day every day. And it was tough, but I'm glad that I put in that work, because today I'm thanking myself for just knuckling down and putting in that work.
Right, it's so cool to hear. I was getting goosebumps basically through the whole way you're speaking there, man. That is so crazy, so cool to hear. Your determination, mate. You should be so proud of what you've done. But you sort of mentioned your mental health and how you're thinking on the table and stuff. You must have had some bad days, some setbacks. Where did it get to? How did you stay so driven? Were there days where you just felt like you wanted to give up, or where'd you get to? What was the worst days like?
Bro, so I reckon those 6 months, like, my mental health, I knew that it was something it was affecting me a lot, but I just chose not to acknowledge my mental health during that period. And I don't know, it was like, at the time, I think I just needed to, that was my mentality, was I'll just deal with the mental health stuff later, because I need to just focus on just grinding. Because the more, like, you grind in that period, the more, movement you'll get back, and the quality of life will be improved. So it's not until I left hospital and went back to my, like, normal life is when, all the depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, that stuff started to really affect me. And, I'm still in therapy, but it's just going to be a ongoing thing because yeah, especially when I moved back to Auckland from the UK is when it's when it really started affecting me. I was just depressed and like had anxiety going places, and the PTSD is like something that's yeah, it just kind of sneaks up on you, eh? Like just get random flashbacks to being on the field or being in hospital, and then your mind can't tell if it's really happening or not, and so you just feel like you're back in that moment, and it's real tough. So yeah, that's why when I got back to Auckland, me and my wife, because we were both like struggling mentally, it was just a big adjustment to life, and Auckland just wasn't the place for us to do it, like to find my feet again, and get used to this new body, this new life. So yeah, both our therapists recommended we needed a change of lifestyle to help with like my mental health, both of our mental health. So we made the dramatic lifestyle change and moved here, which has been a place that I feel like I've finally been able to get some healing in, and just like have some time to myself to breathe, because everything was just so overwhelming coming out of hospital. I'm trying to like figure out what my new normal is, and it's just was too busy, and yeah, I would get overwhelmed and just chill at home. Whereas over here, I'm out of the house more, and the sun does a lot for your mental health.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I kind of went off the grid a bit. Was just I had to focus on put my mental health first. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, sorry, Brad. Didn't reply to you for about a good year. But yeah, I just had to. It was tough because I felt like I was being a bad friend to people and bad family, but I had to just look after myself in that year and that moment, because I just wasn't feeling good at all. And yeah, so moving here to the Cook Islands, I love this place now, and it is a second home that has allowed me to heal and just figure out what life's going to look like post injury. And yeah, just I feel like there's not a lot of pressure here, which is something that is a big burden lifted. I just go about my day at my own pace, and everything kind of moves at a slow pace, which is perfect for me.
Right, that's so cool. And you mentioned your mental health, and during all this time, you've also got the added, I guess, pressure or unnecessary pressure coming from Worcester at the time around how the whole who's going to pay for your treatment and all this sort of stuff. How much did this weigh on you?
Yeah, that was big, especially like they didn't pay my bill, and so they paid 4 weeks of my stay, and then the rest of my stay was, so maybe 3 or 4 months of the stay was unpaid for. And I started getting the bills from the hospital, which was like stressful at the time because I'm just trying to focus on rehab, and then I'm like, oh shit, like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Who's paying for this?
Yeah. And then and it didn't get paid, and like it never got paid. I was just lucky that the hospital I was at, the Royal Buckinghamshire Hospital in Aylesbury, they just did me a solid pretty much. And because I was the hospital director, we all became quite close during that COVID period because we were all locked in, and he just did me a solid. So I was so grateful for that. But yeah, I was gutted because I remember I wrote a tweet, like, but I was a little bit cut, but but I was half cut. But I wrote a tweet and I was like, oh, hopefully Worcester pay my hospital bills this year. But they didn't. And then they put out this statement just gaslighting me, just saying, oh, this and that, saying, just pretty much making me look like a liar. So, it's sad that all this stuff has come out now and the clubs went under, but I'm kind of glad it did happen because, I try to be a person that live with integrity and honesty, and I was keeping it 100, and they made me out to look like a liar. So when everything come to light, I knew it would eventually come, but yeah, it was quite relieving because I knew that yes, I was and people knew he was telling the truth.
Mate, that's crazy. So when you found out that Worcester was no longer a club and there's no surprises for you, just the way it was run, is that sort of how you felt?
Yeah, as a playing group, we you could see the cracks when they changed ownership. Because we had this old owner when I first got there. His name was Cecil Duckworth, and he was like the godfather. He was the don.
Yeah.
Just loved the club. It was like his baby. Had time for all the boys. He'll pull up to all our trains, shake everyone's hand. And he just looked after the club and looked after us. And then, yeah, these two owners came in, and they were quite arrogant, like the way they talked and the way they walked around, and you could tell just things weren't going right at the club. And yeah, especially during that COVID period, because it just I don't really want to dog the club because bro, like I loved it at Worcester, and and I'm gutted that happened, but yeah, it was a long time coming, and I'm gutted that it did happen because there's no club in the Prem now, and Worcester's lovely town, and we had the best supporters. So I'm just feeling for all the boys. A lot of the players out of pocket. They just had multi-year deals, and they just stopped getting paid. So they owed hundreds of thousands of dollars. So a lot of people have been lives have been changed through whatever the dealings at Worcester were, and yeah, that's the sad thing because it was such a good club.
It is sad. It's a shame to see, and Wasp obviously as well. It went down,
but
seem to be coming back. But do you have any sort of hard feelings against rugby? How do you view rugby now? Do you watch it? What's your thoughts on the game?
But I'm not like a rugby nut or anything, but I'll watch a few highlights here and there. Still, keep track of old mates that are playing, see how they're playing and doing. But yeah, it's a tough one because rugby gave me everything, but it also took away everything. So it's a tough one to process because I wouldn't be the person I am without rugby, but also the game is it took away a lot, and my body's for life. So like playing rugby is going to whatever I did during my career, and that injury was going to affect me for the rest of my life. So yeah,
it's tough.
Hard to answer that one. Yeah.
And so, like one of the videos that I remember you posting where made me laugh, especially early on, was one of the ones where you were, I guess, just starting to walk, and you have your big fall. Talk to me about that. And was that sort of what the recovery process was like? Yeah.
No, it was just because I was always trying to push the boundary, and my physios, like I was botsing it. Just I always try and do more than I could. Yeah. And so I was walking. I got to a point where I could walk with 2 crutches. Oh yeah. And then the physio was like, "Mike, we'll keep you on 2 crutches. I want you to get used to this." And then, but just me being bots, I said, Nah, gee. One crutch. I reckon I can do it. Right on one crutch. And he was like, oh. And then he was like, nah, I don't want you to do that. I was like, nah, I'm doing it. Just, yeah, I wasn't hearing anyone, I was just so determined. And then, so that's why it was getting filmed, because I was so confident that I could do it.
Yeah.
I was like, babe, film this. Watch this one crutch. Started walking. I was like going well, and then, about 5 steps in, just tripped up, fell on my face. Like the physio tried to catch me, and I fucking bumped him off, and we were just a ruck on the floor. And bro, everyone, because everyone in the rehab center was watching it, I was so embarrassed, bro. And like, fuck. Because all the other patients were like, I could tell they wanted to laugh at it. I was like, fuck. And yeah, so that was like, bro, that was the joke of the hospital for a few weeks there. It was like, bro, should have listened to the physio.
Did that do any damage, those sort of falls, or is it nah? It's just it's all good.
Nah, yeah, it's kind of, bro, made a career out of falling on the ground. So
Yeah, true.
just kind of felt, yeah, didn't feel like anything.
Yeah. And was there anything that, like, when you obviously you can't walk, but you're also not playing the game anymore? Was there anything that you missed about? Guys talk about how hard it is when they retire, but yours is the ultimate.
Yeah.
You're forced to retire. You can't move. Did you miss anything about the game, or what parts of the game did you miss?
Yeah, I do. I've started missing it a lot, actually. It's just being around mates every day. That's the camaraderie is what I miss a lot. Yeah, and just we all just hang around. Tuesday nights are always fun.
Toxic Tuesdays.
Toxic. And yeah, but even just being able to express myself using my body. It's hard not being able to do that, and letting frustration out through playing the game of rugby. Not having that, it's kind of trying to find other ways to cope with like stressful times and stress in your life, because you can't just go hit a ruck now.
Yeah.
Kind of have to use other avenues to de-stress.
What do you use?
But I just love going into the ocean over here. So every day I'm in the water, and yeah, I just think it's healing for me, because being in the water, I can move normally, and I don't have to worry about balancing or trying to
So can you swim?
Yeah, I can swim, and I can nearly pretty much run. Like I can run in water. So
yeah. With like a life jacket, or just with nothing to help you float?
Nah, I could just swim, bro. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, I like being in the ocean and water, because I feel almost free from my body, and able to do things with minimal effort rather than having to consciously think of every movement.
Mate, swimming, that's it. Paralympics.
Bro.
Hey?
Bro, that's a low-key goal of mine, eh?
Is it? Yeah, I thought
not swimming, but...
Nah, but
yeah,
go there.
I'd like to find an event that, I could excel at and just give it a crack, but yeah, it's hard over here. I'd have to come back to New Zealand for a little bit, which I want to look at doing this year, maybe just to give some different para sports a go and see what I'm good at, because injury aside, I'm still pretty strong for quadriplegic, eh? And I'd love to just train towards something rather than I'm just rehabbing, just for the sake of it. I'd like to have a goal. Yeah.
Mate, that'd be cool. What have you looked into any sports?
Yeah.
Like that you could do?
So I'm interested in, throwing, because I'd be in a seated throw or a or like a seated shot put or discus, even cycling, like because I can ride a bike and I'm still pretty decent on a watt bike. So
surf to peak all over.
Yeah, mate. I want redemption. Yeah, so I'd like to give it a go, but it's just a bit of admin at the moment. Yeah, so this year I'm looking to plan once I've settled in.
Oh, mate, you got plenty of time on your side. How old are you now? Are you 30?
Yeah, just turned 30.
Turned 30, yeah.
Yeah. They say, life starts at 30, they reckon. So.
Yeah, that's it.
I hope that's not a yarn.
But as always, we've gone to our Instagram for some questions, and mate, a lot of those guys you've mentioned have come in here, come up trumps with some questions. So we'll roll through this before we finish. But man, what a podcast it's been. Okay, first question: ask him if he is the toughest quadriplegic.
Bro, who asked that? That sounds like a. Bro, that sounds like a. Can I guess?
Yep, have a guess.
Bro, first of all, yes is the answer. But that's Tatey. That's a Tatey question, eh?
It is, mate. You're right on. You know the listeners. That is a question from him, and yes, the answer is by miles, eh?
Yeah, mate. Built different, brother.
Okay, next one. Next question is: who was your favourite teammate to play alongside?
Favourite teammate, bro. There's a few. Yeah, I can't really say one, but guys like Ricky Riccatelli, he was my bestie in Welly. He's a lad. Tongan Bear.
Yeah.
Sam Losi.
Oh, lads.
Loved Vince Asso.
Yeah.
Melani.
Yeah.
Melani Nano.
Yeah.
He was a good dude in Worcester.
Yeah.
Bryce Heem was a lad.
Mate.
And yeah, I had a good friend over at Worcester, Joe Tafati. He's the hooker for the USA team.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I've made a lot of good friends through rugby, and yeah. So that was what I enjoyed the most, was having those strong friendships.
Yeah. It is the coolest part of the game, eh? The connections and the people you meet along the journey, and especially when you play over in different countries and stuff, you experience all these different cultures, and you meet all these different people, and connections you keep for the rest of your life, which is so cool.
Facts.
Okay, next one. How important is Carver Club? This must be one of your Raro mates.
Carver Club, yes. So it's just something that started, and it's just been it's kind of replaced my Toxic Tuesday, which was a big void in my life. So just a few local boys from around the island, and I was lucky enough to be invited in, and they've shown me love and shown me around the island, and kind of given me that bit of local knowledge which you need when you're moving to a new country. So yeah, that's an important part of my week now, and it's it helps a lot with mental health and that. Just on the covers, just chopping it up, having some yarns, and those are my boys over here, and I love them.
How good. This guy one of them might have asked this question too. Ask him about his only friend.
Yeah, bro. That's my best mate over here, eh?
Oh, true.
Shout out to Reikorangi Ellison. He's Tamati's first cousin, eh?
Oh, is he? Oh, true.
Tamati Ellison.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lad, he must be a lad.
Loves it. Yeah, he's a lad.
Oh, good stuff. Okay, this one's also must be another inside joke. All of these. Why does everyone call you a joke? You'll guess this one too.
Nah. Who is that, bro? Is that Halahola or something?
Nah, Yopu.
Oh, mate. Yeah, that's just, I don't know. Me and Yopu just used to a few inside jokes. I used to call him a joke. Oh, he used to call me a joke. I'll call him Four Eyes. So, just a bit of banter, eh? I miss that guy, eh?
Yeah, he's a lad. Okay, next one. Who was the best mafia at the Stags, and were you mafia?
Bro, do you know a guy named Michael Stewart? He's down in Christchurch.
Oh.
So he played with me in Southland, and he was a qualified lawyer, and he just used to eat it up at Mafia, just making us doubt our own, making us believe that we're not even Mafia, but he had a way with words that would maybe I am Mafia. So yeah, that Michael Stewart. He's one of the all-time Mafia greats.
Oh, true. Lawyers, yeah. I could imagine them being good at that. Okay, next one. Favourite story from the Barbarians. We didn't even get to touch on your Barbarians times, but, mate, that would have been good times. You were playing with, Reggie, Brad Shields,
yeah,
a few other lads.
So, yeah.
Milani?
Yeah, Milani was there. No, we had a cool crew, but just spending that time with Brad was special, because I was his roomie the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
So, coming from, at the Canes where he was, he had to be the enforcer of rules and kind of hold the boys all accountable. Touring with Brad out of that environment as a barbarian, it was just, I just love seeing that side of him, eh?
A different Brad.
He took me under his wing that tour. He just plus 100 respect after that tour. He's just such a good man, and he just looked after me. And yeah. But bro, we had some funny times with Brad, because we just it's a lot of drinking on the Barbarians tour, and we just had some good nights. And I remember one of the last nights we missed the bus, and we were just us two were the last men standing, just I don't know, silly things, but bro, looking back now, fuck, that was fun, eh?
Yeah. And did you play against South Africa? Was it?
Yeah. It was crazy because we did no training or anything, and then we went and drew with the Springboks.
Crazy, yeah, it does.
It was just everyone just flicked the switch, and we were just balling that game, eh?
You obviously were pretty good at that, being able to just flick that switch. So you're probably the perfect Barbars man, used to a toxic Tuesday and being able to flick a switch, no training.
It kind of just made you realize, rugby's, it's you don't have to, train like a madman during the week, and you can kind of get away with, being a bit more relaxed about things, and when you're relaxed, you sometimes tend to play better, which is true for a lot of people. So, Barbarians was a fun tour. We ended up beating Fiji, we beat Czech Republic, and we drew with Springboks, and it was just all around. We had fun.
Yeah, there's something in that. It's crazy how well the Barbars go against international teams.
Yeah, just when you're having fun,
just pissing up and in a good headspace, eh?
Yeah, it just brings that sort of enjoyment back, which is huge.
Mate, crazy. Okay, next one. 2 left.
Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson he has learnt? What he wish he knew at the start of his career?
Yeah, I don't actually know. Just not doubting your own ability. And that's only one coach's opinion, and a lot of players, once they don't make a few teams or they're not progressing in their career, they start to believe that, and even I started to believe that. So just believing in yourself and backing yourself, and if you stay consistent and just keep training, keep knocking on that door, it's gonna bust down eventually. So that's me. Just self-belief is huge, and just don't lose that.
Mate, I love that, and that's very much like this question. I always ask this question at the end of every episode. Best piece of advice for a Woodlad listener. You may have given a sneak peek already, or you might even have something new for us.
Advice for What a Lad listener. Bro, you know what? My advice is just, bro, don't take your body for granted. Don't take your able-bodied for granted. Because you know, you only get one body, so look after it. And you know, if you're looking for a reason, like me, I've lost my able body, and I'd kill to get my body back, but you know, it's impossible. So if you have an able body, look after it, because fuck, I'll take it. Yeah.
Mate, that is definitely the most powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, the goosebumps hit me all down my spine again. But
Get training,
mate,
Jimmy.
it's so
Get training.
How many people take their body for granted? It's it's crazy when you've got these things. It's very easy to just think it's yours, and you do take it for granted. But like you say, life, your body, all these things can be taken off you at any moment. So mate, you're speaking true facts there, and from a person who's been through it all. But mate, what a podcast. I now know why I was so excited to get you on. That was one of the most incredible stories I've heard. So cool to hear it from your side of things, and I'm so proud of you for what you've done. Not just post your injury, but leading up to it, mate. You had a incredible career, and then post injury, what you've done is just been so amazing, and so awesome to see, and seeing you do so well, looking strong, looking healthy, looking in a good headspace, and being willing to come on and share your story, which I'm sure so many people get a lot out of. And looking forward to following you in the future, keeping in touch, and hopefully seeing you at the Paralympics, throwing the discus 20 metres further than everyone else.
Toughest quadriplegic ever, mate. Thanks for having me, Jimmy. First podcast I've ever done, so it's glad it was with you. I would bet,
mate. Appreciate you choosing me, man, because like I said, it's such a cool story. You've been through it, and it's awesome seeing where you are now. So appreciate you, bro.
Bro, can I get some What a Lad merch or what?
Yeah, 100. Next order, we are on. You are the ultimate lad.
Right,
so
I need it.
Next Paralympics, mate, you'll be running with a What a Lad hat on.
First What a Lad athlete, bro. I appreciate it, bro. I'll message up. Good to chat, eh?
What a lad, what a lad.